bullshit, I can't hear you. Sound off like you got a pair.
What's up, Guy in 57? I hope you're all having a fantastic Saturday. Whole bunch of cheaters just got exposed on Minecraft. Womp womp. Act the planet. How could I ever forget you, Gumby? No, I was just setting stuff up for tonight. Let's see. Making sure everything is good. Think we're all set. Just gonna let the timer run down real quick. Yo, what's up, Bobby? The Mac Attack. Oh yeah, the Juck is in the house. All right, the kick stream is still acting a turd, I think. See if I can fix this. Should be working just fine. I think it's on my side. I think my side's not seeing it right. New computer came in, it's got soldered memory. Oh no. Oh no. Dude, I get that the soldered memory is more efficient, but also I hate that it means that you can't make any changes to it whatsoever. Yeah, you could change it. It just might want to take a little bit of extra work there. Hey, Nelson, what's up, dude? Yeah, those new chips might be the challenging part for it.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
I tried turning it off again so many times. So, you're going to notice a little bit of a change here.
Bullshit, I can't hear you. Sound off like you got a pair.
You're so full of crap. Yeah, so... There's the new change. Let me see if I can show y'all real quick. Hang on. So, stand by. Let me see if I can show this real quick. And it's because here's what happened was. Hang on. So here's what happened. Hold on. Let me turn on the studio lights because they're off right now. Let me find this real quick. Okay. Okay. Here's what I'm dealing with here. All right, let me turn Chippy Blaise off. Here's what it looks like now. All right, here's the office. Everything is color corrected and graded and awesome. No, it's not animated 57. I had to put that in at the last minute. However, if I leave it like this, Sock will never come in here. Ever. Ever. So, this is what I'm dealing with. It's like, okay, do I do this? Or do I just do little Chippy Blaise for now until I can get the green screen relit? I know, so, Potion, I went through and I had... what was it? Or, sorry, no. Yeah, so what happened was, the reason why it looks like this is because I had the exposure turned up way too much. I already told you guys, I can't run NVIDIA Broadcaster on the streaming computer. It's got an AMD graphics card. So, I could do it like this. Here, let me turn the studio. I didn't actually look to see like what it looks like here. I guess that's not bad. Hold on, let me do something weird. Let me crop it down a wee bit. Hold on. Where's the button here? Let me stand by. All right, here. Bring this down just a wee bit. Let's bring this in a little bit here, just like that. Boom. All right, I can do it like that. But then hold on. I got to go shut the baby gate now. Hang on. Hey, Peaches. All right, I'm coming. Peach is trying to trip me. I could, guy, but I already have some lights going for the green screen. So the green screen is currently just sitting over here. And the problem is now is I had the ISO value on the camera jacked way up. And so what that did is it kind of overexposed everything. However, it worked for the green screen. It made the greens pop so that the chroma key filter could actually work with it. Now that I've gotten all the color correcting done, the green screen is not lit well enough. So I found some inexpensive lights on Amazon that are coming in. I'll see if I can get the green screen relit. But yeah, that's what the story was. That's why I was up till 2 in the freaking morning doing color correction and trying to get the green screen to work. So, other than that, lots of fun days. Still making the big push to get the weekly YouTube videos out. I've actually got 2 I'm trying to get done right now. I was going to see if I can get 2 videos out this week. Maybe 1 for Tuesday and 1 for Thursday. But other than that, that's what I did. Except waking up at like, I don't know, I forgot what time I got up in the morning. And then first thing Sock says is she's like, hey, let's go do a little on. I'm like, Say you're autistic without saying you're autistic. I am very artistic, thank you. Oh, you said autistic. Oh, my bad. Hold on, where's the actual... I've got... Okay, this should be the official GitHub repo. So you guys were talking about we should try to get back to working on... What was it? We should get back to working on HackBot. So, as I was looking at some things, I've not gotten to play with Hermes Agent very much. So I thought about, let's see if we can fire it up and maybe go test it out. Because I think this actually would make a decent base. I've already was kind of tinkering with modifying it a little bit. The hard part is it gets so many releases. Like, it's just ba, 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 ba. Don't get ratted again. I wasn't ratted in the first place. I don't think, was I? If y'all did, you did a good job of hiding it, because I didn't even know. Yeah, but there's no white wall behind me to chroma key a custom color. So... I think everyone in IT has a touch of the tism. That's right. One of my favorite t-shirts I've seen, Null, was... It was from, what's his name? Mandatory Fun. And it's got a little raccoon on it. And he's got sunglasses and like an American flag t-shirt. It says, I put the tism in patriotism. I love that shirt. I wait until there's a major release of between half of the bug fixes. Yeah. But from what I was kind of looking at, I think Hermes actually might make a decent... beginning slot for working on HackBot now. There's so many good agents now. That was one of the reasons that caused me to like kind of step back and put HackBot on hold, was that all the agent harnesses were getting really freaking good, and they were going to be better than what I could go code up in Python. So I was like, let's kind of take a little bit of a step back from this and look at it. I didn't really think about Claude Code that much. I was like, yeah, maybe. But Hermes, I believe, has a lot of the same features, like what I wanted. Lifecycle hooks, very good. Cache management, and a couple other things. And that's using it out of the box. Now, there should be... Let me pull this up. I believe they just recently added like a clean slate install to it. Where you could install it with like everything, or you could get started with like installing it without any of the skills or anything. Basically like a bare bones install. So move my setup. Moving my setup means completely rearranging a server down here, a rack with servers and computers on it, and an entire desk. I was like, moving the setup is one of those things that's like, oh yeah, the dam's in an inconvenient place. Cool, let's just move the dam. Yeah, and that's why, so Guy, I have been looking at Hermes, and I've been tinkering with it a little bit. But by tinkering with it, I mean tinkering with the code. I haven't really like gotten to go fire it up and connect it to something. Yeah, and so since you've been telling me how much you liked it, Guy, for the longest time, I was like, let's go look at it. And as I was running through, I think this would actually be pretty good. Let me see something here. Choose your provider. I may be able to do that. Let's see. The problem is I got to figure out which provider I want to use. Maybe OpenRouter, since I already do have an OpenRouter config in there. Let me see. Because that's one of the first things we'll have to do is go figure out which one we want to use. I already have my, where's my, let me log in.
Bullshit, I can't hear you. Sound off like you got a pair.
Hey, Killer, what's up, dude? All right, hang on one sec. I'm signing in real quick. I'm checking to remember like what I had set up in OpenRouter. Let's see. How many credits do I even have in this thing? Let me see. Credits. We got $30 over on Open Router. We could do something like that. All right, let me go look at the NOS portal then. Let's see. Because on the NOS portal, maybe if I like it, but at the same time, I don't want to log in like that. I don't know if I've even logged in over here, so I can log in. All right, stand by. Let's see. Is OpenClaw even still a thing, or did Hermes kind of take it over? I believe there is still like folks using OpenClaw, but I believe a lot of them have shifted over to Hermes now. Okay, hang on. I'm getting logged into the Nosu portal, whatever it is. Okay, here we go. Because I haven't even looked at like set. I've just been tinkering with and digging through the code. OpenClaw is a toy compared to Hermes. So what was funny is during some of the testing I was doing, Guy, I noticed that there were times when like I was setting up some, what was it? It was some skills or something, I forget what, but I was bumping up against like some security measures that were built into Hermes. I was like, oh, that was pretty cool. Things like it thought that what I was doing in some of the skills were prompt injections. Like it was detecting that and dropping it. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, actually. Let's see. Oh, they have free models in here? Okay, let's go take a look here. What do we got here? Free models. So what do we have in the free side then? So something we could tinker around with tonight. You'll receive 10 cents in monthly credits on a $0 per month plan. Okay. Hold on. So it just depends on which model you're going to be using. Yeah, used up in 0.5 seconds. That's right. What I want to know is which models they've got available in the portal. Here. That's the Hermes agent. Let's see. API keys. Oh no, I docked myself. Let's see. Info. Let's see. What I want to know is I'm just trying to see like what they've got for this. Now, typically I wouldn't want anything kind of doing its own thing in here. Yeah, so usage, but nothing should be in here, but let's see. Here's model and tool usage pricing. Browser use proxy. Oh, damn. That's pretty cool. FAL. What is FAL? Firecall, Kriya, modals, OpenAI audio. Okay, so we got some stuff in here. So, Guy, are they having you... Are they showing you... What is it? Like which models they've actually got available in here? Or are they providing supplementary tools and not direct inference? If I was going to do that, I might just come run it locally. They do both? Okay. Let me see something here. So add OpenWriter and all the providers that you have. It'll use a mixture of. Wait, hold on. MOA. So eventually, no, I don't know if you were here during that time, but we were working on basically like a hacker mixture of agents. Gotcha. We were working on a little hacker bot, just called HackBot for fun, but we were writing it out fully in LangChain and LangGraph. Now this is about the time that Opus 3.7 was kind of a thing. I think I put it on ice around February when Opus 4.5 kind of came out, and that was maybe as closer to January, but that's when I kind of got a better feel for like how Claude Code was and where what I was making was way behind the curve for everything else. So I still wanted to go kind of revisit the idea and mess around with it a bit. So I've been meaning to. I've gathered a bunch of stuff. If I really wanted to go code it up myself from the various platforms that are available, it looks like LangChain and LangGraph still kind of provide the best cohesive environment. However, the Hermes agent's pretty damn cool. I tell you what, let's do something here real quick. Connect. Did I turn... Hold on, let me get into the Proxmox server. Did I turn this Kali box down? Let's see. Goad. Here we are. Members. That would be why. Hang on. Let me start these up. Start you and start you. There we go. We'll just repurpose this one for a little bit. No, actually, I don't know if I want to do that. Come to think of it. I don't know if I do want to do that. I think for this one, I probably want it to go be in a standalone spot. Yeah, let's do this. Let's connect over here. Start you. We'll go get to the one that's in the dev box. Let me start these up. We'll hop back into the dev one. Let me go shut the Goad ones down. Let's just stop you. And stop you. Let's go see what we've got here. All right. Where was our dev stuff in here? So we got our dev Kali. Let me see if this will come up. Let me see. This box, if I remember correctly, had a whole bunch of issues. Oh, it did come up. Okay. So I wonder why it didn't connect over to it. 10.3, 10.10. Let me check something here real quick. What's our IP address on this thing? Let me log into it real quick. Make sure I'm pointed at the right IP address, because the IP addressing schemes have changed in here. Yeah, it should be 10.3, 10.10. Let me make sure I got this right. Let me see if SSH is working. I use Hindsight as a memory provider, and you can run it locally with local models and local embeddings. Yeah. Now, if I'm running it here locally on this machine, yeah, I can totally do that. However, this is the only box with a GPU on it, which is the desktop. So the server doesn't have any GPUs available, unfortunately. How big are those models, though, guy? Let's start taking a few notes here. That's what I say. If this is a small embedding model, that won't be such a big deal here. All right. HackBot for Hermes. Let's take some new notes in here. Yeah. It depends. So, Dumas, it depends on which one you're running. But yeah, I've seen some of the embedding models that they're pretty small. All right, so let's see here. First thing I need to know is, let's go look at the setup options we've got available. Because there should be a clean slate install. Now, why is this thing not connecting me? Hang on one second. Let me check something real quick. I'm double checking to make sure that .3.10. Let's see. Let me restart this real quick. I think the tail scale network is not functioning correctly. Because I should be able to reach this box through tail scale. Yeah, 10.3, 10.10. Oh, wait, this says it's 10.3, 10.1. Oh? What is this system running? Hang on. Strange. I haven't used this I haven't used this range in forever. Where is it? There it is. Let's just try something real quick. Do I have internet connectivity? Yeah, we do. Okay. Let's see. Route tech in. Let me see. 10.3.10.0 there. Okay. So for some reason, I don't know why the IP address of this changed, but let me see if I can go fix this. We'll use that as kind of like the staging box there. Stop. There. There we go. Now let me see if I can SSH over to it. There we go. Now we're cooking with propane. Make sure to install the Hermes desktop. But I just want to do it on SSH. All the cool kids SSH. There we go. One of these days I just want to go to a thrift store and find a bunch of cheap RAM. Dude, good luck. Yeah, but if I went and installed like everything I wanted to try out locally, this computer would be so nasty bloated, dude. It'd be bad. It's the whole reason why I've got the lab. Oh, you know what? I don't think I've actually started... what was it? I don't have Chasm set up on here? Really? How odd. I should install your not malware exe on your devices. Oh, that's awesome, Potion. Send it my way. Yeah, what I'm trying to figure out is why... Ah, crap. Let's see. I gotta remember what the command is. It's like VNC server start or something. Yeah, that's it. VNC server's already running? Is it now? Yeah, it's running right there. What the hell? 10.3, 10.1. Why is it not connecting then? I want my chasm connection. Let's see. 10.3, 10.1 on 8.4.4.4. It's always the lab. Now it wants to connect. All right. You really need a local LLM for reduced latency. I have not used a local LLM in so long that I'm not even worried about it. I don't know if I'll be doing stuff as intense, at least not in the beginning, as like what you're doing. I just want to go test it. I want to go give it a little bit of trysies, you know? All right, now that we're back into the system here. Let's see. Let's get the install going here. Hermes desktop installer for Mac OS and Windows. All right, so we won't be doing that. Well, actually, I don't know. It says it works in Linux also. Let's go see if we can get it installed real quick. Let's go do this. Nothing says secure like curl pipe bash. I don't get it yet, and unfortunately, if that's to be real with you guys, if that's going to be a limitation, where if it will not run with remote inference, it's a non-starter, dude. Most people, including myself, don't have the hardware to go run local inference, at least not on a beefy model. I can run at best like a 12B parameterized model on this desktop right here. That's the best I'm going to pull off with it. Oh, it's installing node dependencies. Let's see. I thought the Kimi mixture model was way bigger than that. Let's see. Kimi models. We run it home. Let me go see what they've got real quick. It's funny, is Unsloth is like one of the first things that came up. Ugh! Stop messing with my dark reader. Ah, sorry guys. I can't get this one to go into dark mode. Wait, hold on. Turn off. Ah, there we go. All right. Let's see. This was from Kimi K26 though is a big model. It's only 3 billion active, but that just means how many parameters you're having to process when it fires. You still have to, if you want to be able to use it, load the entire model into VRAM. Yeah, we could potentially run Gimma 412B. I mean, this is a 12 gig card, so unless we probably find like if we found like a Q1 of Gimma 4, that might work. But yeah, so this one, so when a mixture of expert models says, oh, it's only, you know, it's X parameters, but it's only Y active parameters. Yeah, but I also don't have 340 gigs of system RAM, though. That's what I'm trying to tell you. If at Q4, it's like, if I'm using this one as an example, right? If it's a Q4 and it's running 584 gigs of disk space, then it's at least that in RAM. That's what I'm talking about, right? Let's see. So which one were you talking? Which particular Kimi model were you talking about? No, let's go take a look at it. Because this one K26 is already going to be too big, but I don't know. I'm not familiar with what the other Kimi models are. Forget Kimi. I was just curious, dude. We are exploring right now, guy. I am taking everything you say and I'm listening to it. However, hack around and find out is a way of life. You still got to do that. Let's see. Gamma 4. Let's see. So Gamma 4 comes in a 26A4B, and then also a, I forget what the E version is. Enhanced? Hey, Peaches. Huh. So supposedly the NOS research portal, they have their own agent called Hermes 4, or their own model. Okay. So I did a quick check and I was like to see what they've got up in the portal there. They've got a whole bunch of different models. Oh, it does it through open router integration. Got it. Got it. GLM52 can't run on that little VRAM. You need like over 300 gigs. Yeah. And that's what, even with the active model. So the cool thing about the mixture of expert models, right, is that it might be a big model, but you don't have to process the entire model, right? You can run it on smaller systems. So, dude, Potion, some of those graphics cards have like 96 gigs of RAM in it. And yeah, so like what Dumas was saying there. So you could have either network distributed systems, kind of like the DGX Spark, right? So on the DGX Spark, what you could do is you could network those together, and each one of those is 128 gigs of RAM, and so then you could load up a model spread across those. Oh yeah, Push. I've definitely seen the RAM prices. Hold on. So what changed on that guy? If that's not the same way that it's applying anymore, because Null had said the same thing. Like, hey, you could load it up into system RAM, and then you could go run it this way. I haven't played with local inference very much at all lately, so there's some catching up I've got to do, because all this shit changes so fast. Here, let me go see what he's saying.
There's one number on the stats of your graphics card that matters more than everything else combined for local AI agents. And it's not the one you think. Most people build their AI computer the same way they would build the gaming PC. Faster processor, bigger graphics card, just more power.
That's right.
That's exactly why their setup runs like a garbage. In my previous business, I used to overcharge people for this stuff. It made me just sick of it, so I had to quit. Now I just show you how to build it yourself for completely free. Let me explain this in the simplest way I can. We're going to stay in one analogy for most of this video.
I'm trying to get the audio up. I don't know why it is being so low. Hang on.
Your local AI setup is like a restaurant kitchen. The graphics card,
there we go.
That's the part of your computer that does all the heavy math. Think of it as the chef. How fast the chef's hands move, how quickly they can chop, stir, plate. But the memory on the graphics card, called VRAM, that's the size of the kitchen counter, remember that. And here's the thing nobody's really talking about. the counter size matters more than hand speed. Here's what actually happens when
Let me
you
grab that model card real quick. We'll take a look at
AI
it.
model is basically a giant recipe. When you see a model label 7B, that means 7 billion. A 7 with 9 zeros after it. That's 7 billion tiny instructions that tell the AI how to think. More instructions, smarter AI.
All right, I've already got comments, but since this is the video you suggested, guy, I'm gonna hold him for a second. I want to see where he goes with this.
Also a bigger recipe that takes up more and more counter space. That entire recipe needs to sit on the counter while the chef works. If it fits, the chef works at full speed. Chopping, plating, no wasted movement at all. But the second the recipe is just too big for the counter, the chef has to keep running to the back storage room to grab ingredients. That storage room is your computer's regular.
I applaud him for the effort of the analogy, but at the same time, it's not quite right. But hold on, sorry, I'm trying to bite my tongue. I really am, because I realize I'm not the target audience for this. I'm trying. I promise I'm trying.
Memory, we call it RAM instead of VRAM.
Hey, monkey.
It is just way much slower. We're talking about going from a smooth 40 words per second down to maybe 2 to 3 words, which is just unusable. Now, you might be wondering, how do people fit these massive recipes on a normal counter? They use shorthand. Instead of writing every instruction in full, detailed handwriting, they compress it down. We call it a 4-bit compression, which is the same recipe.
All right, I'm skipping ahead because I want to see where he goes with this part right here.
Model takes about 5 gigs of counter space. At 14 billion takes about 10.
Okay, yeah, we already kind of talked about
about
that.
20. 70 billion takes about 40. That's just a recipe sitting there. The chef hasn't even started cooking yet. The moment you start a conversation, the conversation memory starts growing.
Yeah, monkey, we're taking a look at. We're looking at. Potentially, could Hermes be a decent base agent for HackBot work again? I was like, you know what? We haven't really looked at HackBot in the last 4 or 5 months. I was like, let's go take another peek at it. I don't know. Maybe I just got a like wild hair, and I was like, hey, let's go do this. And Guy is saying that really, if you're dealing with network latency, that it will kind of crap out Hermes. And so we're having some disagreements on like what might be the ideal architecture here, and also like what are the limitations and where can I even run this thing, because the only system in the house that's got a GPU is my desktop. Everything else is GPU-less. Well, I take it back. I've got the old hash tracking server with 2 1080 Ti's, but those 1080 Ti's are slow. I believe so too, but also there was also a disagreement here about, hey, how are the mixture of expert models working in where they're loading up the RAM and how fast they're executing? So that's why I wanted to double. So I was like, we're running through this real quick.
Can't hear you. Sound off like you got a pair.
Yeah, I've got them up. No, and in fact, I acquired tactically an old, what was it? An old crypto mining rig, and that has 2 1080 Ti cards in it. And then also that server has 2 1080 Ti cards in it. And then sitting on top of the server are another 2 1080 Ti cards. So one of the things I have been meaning to do for many, many months now was throw all 6 of them into that old crypto mining rig and see what it could do. That's been on the to-do list for a long time. Yeah. I do. I've been meaning to, man. So hang on. I want to see what he's talking about here, because now I also just realized this is 3 months old, but maybe he's going to bring up some more information. But so far, I'm tracking with everything he's saying, even if I disagree in the analogy here.
Right? So think of it like 30 dishes piling up on the counter while the chef cooks. Longer conversation. There's obviously more dishes piling up, less room for the recipe. That's why a model that loads perfectly fine can still slow to a crawl. 20 minutes into a conversation, the counter ran out of that space.
So what he's talking about here is he's talking about whenever you've got some kind of attention caching that's happening in memory. right? So, yeah, let's go look at this real quick. Let me clear this out real quick. So he's saying that, hey, just because you have enough VRAM to go load the model, right? So let's say this is our VRAM bucket here, right? And just for the sake of numbers, let's say this was like 8 gigs. So we got 8 gigs of space right here. And let's say our model only takes up like 7 gigs. Right here. So let's say this is our LLM here, and it's only using 7 gigs. Well, now we've got to start spreading the rest of this available space for prompt caching. So what happens here is as that data traverses the language model, it eventually comes through, passes through, and lands in the cache right here. And it's stored in various blocks. I'll be back. Stop it. It's stored in various blocks. You saw nothing, right? And then whenever you send something to the model here, actually what's going to happen is the first thing that request is going to do is it's going to come down, it's going to pull cache, and it's going to pull it for the longest prefix length of those blocks in here. So just FYI for anybody who doesn't know what's going on here. Blocks here. Then what it will do is it will take all that cache data and run it back through the language model this way, and then cache those blocks before finally returning the output. So here's our input, here's our output. So what he's saying is, yeah, if you had a model that used 7.99 gigs and it fit comfortably into memory, you have no room for caching in there. You don't see, there. That's why I had the green screen. Cache me outside. Damn it, Bobby. I forget what the caching math is, Dumas. I forget what it is. But that's one of the reasons why, if you go look at what Hermes is doing, right? Hermes has a core tenet to it that I really liked, which is the conversation cache is sacred. You don't go and start reinserting tool calls to keep everything. You want it to be this way. So, for example, as your conversation grows, right? Blinded by the light. Revved up like a deuce. For the longest time, I did not think the word there was deuce. I thought it was something else having to deal with feminine hygiene. Anyway, so as your context window here starts growing, you're actually getting more efficient use of your blocks here. So here's your context, right? Context. As it starts growing with all the various messages, as long as nothing gets reordered, right? If there's a very strict append format to where it is growing only in this direction, nothing up here gets blocked, then all these blocks stay in cached memory. So then whenever a new block comes in, it only has to pull the longest matching prefix from memory, reprocess basically at full power the new blocks, and then send it on through. This is why you get such a huge savings whenever you do prompt caching. Yeah. Wrapped up like a douche. All right, yeah, I'm babbling. Fine, I'll let him finish the video.
So the question here isn't how fast is my chef. The real question is supposed to be like, how big is my counter, the VRAM?
He's a size queen.
That one number, VRAM, dictates almost everything about your local AI experience. Okay, so now you know the real bottleneck, but here's where most people still mess up. They pick the right counter and then just cheap out. They decided to cheap out on everything else in the kitchen. Or they just overbuy because some random Reddit post told them they need a $5,000 setup. Neither is true. Let me walk you through exactly what to buy at every budget level. So this is where most people should start, and it's way more affordable.
Stupid Windows tax for VRAM, yeah.
The core of this build is just one graphics card, the RTX 4060 Ti with 16 gigs of VRAM, 16 gigs of counter space. Not the 8 gigs version, that's the wrong version.
Hold on, so how much is the 4060 Ti right now? RTX 4060 Ti 16 gig. How much are those running for? All right, so actually they're not too bad right here. 550 bucks? Okay. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Hold on. Now I gotta know something. How much is the 4090 32 gig cards? Are those still running like $4,000? Yep. Damn. Damn. Yeah. I'm still running Windows just because of how I have like a lot of stuff set up. Yeah. Only going to go up. That's all right. I understand they're building a new data center near me. And I'm pretty sure I can tell those crackheads down the street exactly how to get in there. If some of that equipment just happens to land in my backyard, cool.
That's the trap. 8 gigs one fills up the second you load a real model plus the conversation. It's just the haywire, right? So this just start piling up immediately. You need at least 12 or 16. Yeah, 12 or 16. I'm running mine on, I think mine is 16, yes. Around that, you build a simple desktop, a Ryzen 5 processor that's the brain of the computer. For local AI, it matters way, way less.
Don't plant bamboo near the data center, it's terribly invasive.
4 gigs of system RAM, that's the back storage room. You want it big enough that if things spill up...
Fuck. First off, hang on. Let me do the thing real quick. That's a swear jar. So... swear jar. So yeah, that's another thing I'm regretting is I have been meaning to upgrade this dang computer to 64 gigs of memory for forever, and then the ramp shoring happens and all the RAM ascended to the cloud on high. Yeah, I know.
Off the counter, there's somewhere for them to go, you know? Now, a 2 terabyte SSD, that's your, think of it like a pantry, where all your model recipes are stored before you pull them onto the counter. Now, there should be a decent power supply as well. That's the electrical panel for the whole kitchen, and a case with a good airflow to keep it cool. So total cost, total damage is about $1,200 to $1,500. Obviously that's USD though. What does this actually run? It could run 7 and 8 billion instructions model. Very.
Let me go look at something real quick. What was this one? This box is... Which one is this? I'm trying to remember what this was. Hang on. Stand by. Crap. What was this? What was this computer here? Hang on, stand by. Let's see. Let's see. They have. I think it's got a Ryzen 3D and onboard AMD card. I'm trying to remember what those are. Damn it. Yeah, that's what it was. It was a GMK Tech 12, I think. GMK Tech K12? I think that's what the streamer system is. Maybe this isn't the right one. Let me see. Oh, this is the bare bones version. Hang on. Let me see. Which one did this one have? 32 gigs of memory. Okay, so it had to be this configuration. So this is the one that I bought as the dedicated streaming computer. Now these guys actually have some other ones in here that are not too bad. So let's go see. Wait, they got a World Cup sale going on? Not like I have any money to go buy something. Hey, Space, what's up, dude?
The T-Monkey cheered 100 bits and says, "Bits for the fucking swear jar."
Yeah, thanks, Monkey. By the way, for anybody who doesn't know, the swear jar gets fired every time I let a really bad cuss word out, right? And every increments of 100, then I'll go do a $100 donation over to a charity. So that's the idea behind the swear jar. Last time, I think we sent it to a GoFundMe for one of the, basically a friend of the community. His son was having cancer treatment, so they had a GoFundMe. So that's what we sent it to last time. What's more important for people to realize is that we're just at the beginning of the AI, and the algorithm in both hardware and software will realign accordingly. 6 months is a decade right now. Dude, is it, man? I was hard to believe that, like, I didn't really touch Claude Code until about 7 months ago. It's kind of wild. Asus Barebone Nook. Hang on, let me check that one out. But yeah, GMK Tech actually makes some systems where they'll have like 128 dedicated RAM. Let's see. So 2 DDR5 SODIMM slots, and then Pro Mini PC. Does this have... Okay, this has built-in Intel graphics. Now the difference is on these ones over here, they do have an Intel and an AMD series. I went with the AMD series. They've got ones like, I think this one. Yeah, so this one has 64 gigs of and these are unified memory in here, right? So this is not going to be as good as like a DGX Spark, but it is slightly less expensive. Wait, does it really? I'm on to you, Potion. I'm on to you. Used to tell people back in the day when we were playing video games, like, oh, hey, by the way, just press Alt F4, that activates God mode. Oh, here we go. This one is... Oh, God, why is their site so slow? There we go. That's not too bad. Although, I think also kind of the bang for the buck really is, especially like when you consider... Yeah, the joke still persists, right? Let's see, the Mac... Yeah, this is basically like a Mac Studio clone. Some of those, I think, are also really awesome. The Mac Studios, really... Oh, God, what are those running? Let's see. Mac Mini. I will call it Mini-Me. Let's see. Shop. Let's go see what they're running right now. So, N4 chip with... So right now, Apple is actually having a big RAM problem where they can't go get this. And I think they're starting to cap like what goes into the Mac Minis. Let's see. Mac Studio. Shop. Yeah, prices just increased $300 to $500. I know, right? Oh yeah, let me go check the B link. Hang on. These were all things I was looking at, and it's good to go back and revisit them because I was trying about January-ish when I got my new PD budget for the year. So every year I'm given like an allocated dollar amount for professional development, and I tried so hard to convince my boss that yes, me getting inference hardware is in fact part of my professional development. However, she agreed. My grand boss agreed. My grand boss agreed, but the IRS said no. So, get wrecked, iOS. This is the worst website. Okay, hold on. PCIe single enhancement chips. That's pretty cool. Seamlessly integrates with the GTI Ultra Series B-Links. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me grab the first B-Link one that you sent. Hang on. Because I think you were saying, hey, run these two together. Here we go. Yeah. Okay, so, yeah, run this one with the 64 gigs. Yeah. Let me channel my inner Primogen. Yeah. Sorry. I'm a little bit tired and spacey right now. Check that one. Dude. Why do you think I'm making the big push to you to get the YouTube videos out? so the YouTube can get monetized, because then maybe I can start affording hardware again. It took a whole year just to afford this streaming computer. Okay, so this one's at 96. We're looking at $1,900 plus this little mamma jamma right here. Multifunction external dock. Oh, yeah. I know this. This is the one that where you can do the external GPU. Yeah, okay. I'm tracking with you now. I'm tracking. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. I think, hang on. While we're just doing hardware exploration, I believe the K12 can also do that. I think that's why I got that. Which one was this? This one? Yeah. I believe this one will do the same. I believe it's got the connectors to do the external. Yeah, so this one, I think you can do the exact same thing with it, if I remember correctly. Products, let me see. ND series, hold on, where is it? Yeah, so this one, I believe you can do the exact same thing. I just haven't, I don't remember, because honestly, everything's changing so damn fast. So, what do they got for clearance? Not like I can afford it right now anyway. Let's see. They got a couple of these little ones here. So, little Nook box. I do like Nooks. I think the Nooks were actually pretty sick. I wish I bought more RAM. Dude, me too, Killa. Me too. All right, let's go finish off his video here because I want to see what he's actually talking about here. Mac versus PC for local AI for unified memory. Tier 2 build. Okay, let me see what his Tier 2 build is.
This is the sweet spot for anyone doing serious local work, coding agents, document analysis, multi-step AI workflows. There are two paths here, I think. So path 1, you can grab an RTX 4070 Ti Super with 16 gigs of counter space, which is much faster chef hands than the 4060 Ti, more headroom, better for agent style loops where the model is thinking properly, executing, and kind of thinking again. And there's other paths, which I think this is the move a lot of experienced
chef hands
power user people make. You can buy a used RTX 3090. Wait for it. It's an older card, obviously, but like I told you, when it comes to local AI, the graphics card doesn't really matter. It's all VRAM. It's all VRAM.
VRAM is important, but however, I have noticed that my RTX 3060 with 12 gigs and my 1080 Ti with 11 gigs will run different models, very different speeds. Tokens per second is a thing. Oh, here we go. Let's get a couple of Tesla cards in here. Actually, I saw Potion. I know what Control-Shift-W does. So in here, the old hash cracker we used to use. Well, it's working on Brave right now, so I don't know if that's going to work. So I didn't even know she was back there, so you guys said something. Hang on a sec. All I saw, all of a sudden, all I see in chat is hi, Sock. I warned her that the camera was going to be on. If she didn't want to be on camera, she's going to have to get my attention.
Good job, guys.
Hey, shut the gate, please. Thank you. Sock is a sweetie. She tried to tell me that she's not not that she's not a nice person, but that she didn't feel like she was a very, like, empathetic person until I was like, and then we got married and like, she's like, oh, so-and-so is sick. I'm going to make him some food. Or, oh, hey, by the way, they're having this trouble and we've got this old thing we don't need anymore. Can we send it over to him? I was like, yeah, go ahead, babe. And I was like, you try to tell me you didn't have like any feelings or whatever. You're a total softie. Yeah, creepy characters caught in the background of live streams. Like a dun dun dun. Not sponsored by Jocko yet. Is the green screen still on? Hang on. Stand by. Let me check something quick. The green screen should be off. Oh, no, it is still on. There we go. That's why, so you can see the difference there. Now, there you go. Now you can actually see the green. I was like, why is it doing that? There you go. Not sponsored by Jocko yet. The green screen is not currently physically in place. However, the chroma filter was still on. All right. Oh, so back what I was telling you, I think, Bobby, I think you sent this one in. So, yeah, the last hash cracker that I had access to, that I'm still trying to go get access to, was, it had 8 Titan V cards in it. So, it had quite a bit of memory to it. I think those were 16, so... let's see, 2 to 3, 2 to the 4, that's 2 to the 7. Yeah, it had 128 gigs in it. How do you do, fellow feds? What's up, hats? Dude, we are just messing around tonight. We're actually looking at like local inference setups again. I'm a little bit out of school with it. So, hang on, let me go check the chat because some of y'all dropped a few new messages in here. Let's see. Is it wider for the YouTube videos? Yeah, for YouTube, it's actually like the full, it's the full screen for like when I'm doing the talking head and I'm explaining. And eventually I will get like some lights or something back there. The first thing I've got on order was I've got a couple lights for the green screen itself. So that's going to be coming in next week. Okay, so Guy was saying the parallel agents is really what you need the speed for, but there's a lot of context movement and you can easily have a 256K context with the Gamma 4 models. Okay, cool. You also don't need a lot of tokens per second if you can just let it run. That's true. That's true. All right, let's see what else. Let's see what else Chef Hands has to say here.
So it has 24 gigs of VRAM in this older graphics card. So 24 gigs of counter space is just a freaking different world. At 24, you can run 32 billion instructions model in shorthand and still have room left over for a long conversation. So models like Qwen 3 32B or DeepSeek R1 Distill 32B, and there are new models. I haven't tested those yet, but these are the models that start rivaling cloud quality for most everyday use cases. The rest of the build stays kind of similar, you know, Ryzen 7 processors, 64 gigs of RAM, 2 terabytes SSD.
I wish I had 64 gigs of RAM. I wish. I thought he was going to talk about like MOEs and offloading. Could you run AI on a Raspberry Pi? Ollama versus LM Studio. GGUF versus AWS, yeah. Local AI versus cloud. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was looking at. So let's go find that real quick. Because everything he's saying, it tracks and it's stuff I'm familiar with. Hold on. Let's see. MOE, LLM, offloading to system RAM. Let's go look at that real quick. Go straight Llama CPP. Well, Guy was saying he really likes Unsloth. Let's see. Guy, will Unsloth will it do model offloading like that? Unsloth uses Llama CPP? Gotcha. Well, I mean, in theory, so does Ollama also, but there's a lot of testing that shows that Llama CPP runs much faster than Ollama. Let's go with this. Cache Machina. Perfect timing, because we're talking about a lot of caching. Welcome in. I hope you're having a fantastic Saturday. Thanks for coming online. Llama CPP rips so hard you can run it on a 2017 Xeons. Ooh, nice. Nice. Also, hey, Hydrogen, what's up, dude? I didn't see you pop in the chat. What's up, man? Let's see. Let's look at that for Llama CPP. Llama CPP. Did I spell that right? No. Llama. No, it's 2 L's. Llama. I still screwed it up. Anyway. All right, so Llama CPP enables efficient offloading of MOE weights to system RAM and CPU, allowing large models to run on hardware with limited VRAM. This is primarily achieved using the N-CPU MOE flag, which keeps the expert tensors of the first N layers in system memory while offloading the rest of the model layers over to the GPU. So, hey, Saint, what's up, dude? Let's see. All right, so this offloads the expert weights to the first N layers to CPU RAM. GPU handles the dense layers and any experts not offloaded. This reduces VRAM usage significantly. Let's see. Only the active experts for a specific token need to be transferred across the PCIe bus. Dude, Killa, 5 consecutive pops in a row. What's up, man? Thank you so much. I just got done setting up Llama CPP and Gamma 4 on an old hardware GeForce 1070. Damn, that is old. I thought my 1080s were old. Getting 50 to 300 tokens per second. Nice. So, Cash, I have... One sec. Here we go. I have 6 1080 Ti cards in various places around the house. And I have an old, crypto mining rig that can power all 6 of these cards as chunky as they are for their power things. For their power draw. Power things. God, I'm an idiot. For their power draw. So, that is like going to be one of the next things I want to try out. Finish the video and everything will make sense. Ah, fine. Hold on. Did I lose the video? Now, here we go. Can I skip his tier 2 and tier 3 builds?
There's one number on genuinely demands it. Don't buy this because it sounds cool. You gotta take this seriously. The centerpiece is RTX 4090 with 24 gigs of counter space paired
to a chat raffle
processor, 128 gigs of system RAM, which is a massive storage room for overflow.
Hold on. 128 gigabytes. DDR5 prices. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God.
Right, and a beefy power supply.
$1,300.
Runs 32 billion instructions models like butter. Just fast chef, big counter, long conversations, is complex Asian chains. You can probably also experiment with 70 billion instructions model at heavy compression, but something
just sell some spare organs, right?
Myself, so I can't really tell you. Like,
I got a spare heart. That goes for a lot, doesn't it?
So, but I heard it's working. But it's likely you're covering the entire counter with recipe pages. Like, you can expect trade-offs on conversation lengths because there's just barely room for the dishes. Now the Apple equivalent is the Mac Studio with an M3 Ultra chip and 90.
You could afford it if you didn't drink so many Jocos. My Jocko habit costs like, let me see. Hold on. How much is a 12-pack of Jocko? Let's see. That's like $60 a month. That's what I spend on it. Like basically $1 a day.
96 gigs of unified memory, 96 gigs of counter.
Jocko is not the issue. Lack of Jocko sponsorship is the issue. I'm working on it. Okay, hold on. Let me back up here because he's talking about Apple equivalent would be like a Mac Studio M3 with 96 gigs of unified memory. So hold on. If we looked at that, M3 chip, Max chip, we'll go with like the base model here, 96 gigs. Accept changes, sure. What are we looking at now? Storage, 2 terabytes. We'll go with that. Dude, Apple is sure freaking proud of their terabyte storage, right? You're talking, add $500 for another 2 terabytes. Well, actually, storage prices have gone up a lot too. All right, so hold on. What's the total we're looking at here? $5,800. Damn. Damn, that's all right. Didn't need a car or nothing. Is Jocko actually good? Yes, they're very good. The only flavor I have tried I did not like is this one, the lemon lime. It is not my favorite. It's got a, I don't know what they did differently to it, but it is a solid 3 out of 7. All the other ones are like 6 out of 7. They've got great flavors too. Guaranteed those prices are going to go up 50% in the next 6 months. Ugh. Ugh. Is it full of trash like Monster and whatnot? Because I thought those were trash. No, man. This one is, let's see, reverse osmosis carbonated water, Jocko sweetener. Maybe that's what's the difference on this one. But that is allulose, monk fruit extract, citric acid, let's see, Jocko Go energy blend, which is coffee bean extract, caffeine, natural caffeine, L-theanine, something I can't pronounce, which not in a bad way. It's like fermented celadricides and L-ergotheanine. There we go. As mitoprime. So no, they're not full of a lot of junk. They keep the amount of caffeine in them is about like 95 milligrams. It's not a huge amount, but it's pretty smooth, good energy. Now for me, as a fast caffeine metabolizer, I can drink this during the start of the stream, right? I start the stream at 8 Central. Usually I'm done with it by 9 Central. I sip on it. I don't chug typically unless I'm really, really thirsty. I can still be like out ready for bed by like 11:30. I hate to be conspiratorial, but the PC era is over. We're going to go back to dumb terminals and metered compute. Bro, I worry about that, Null, and I really hope that's not the case. I really, really hope not. Stimulants make me sleepy. That is the sign of ADHD. Okay, hold on. Let me see what he says here about this Apple Mac Studio with 96 gigs of memory that costs $5,800.
The Apple equivalent is the Mac Studio with an M3 Ultra chip and 96 gigs of unified memory, 96 gigs of counter. This thing loads multiple recipes at once. A reasoning model, an embedding model, a coding model, all sitting on the counters simultaneously, and it idles.
I love coffee.
The 4090 desktop will draw 5 to 10 times that underload. One more thing. You'll see people talking about RTX 1590 builds with 32 gigs of VRAM and dual GPU setups pushing 64 gigs total. That stuff exists, but we're talking like 10K setup, 10K plus. So that's like, I say that's the highest end of consumer grade graphics card.
Honestly, if I was going to go with something, I would probably not, especially like you were talking about. Tokens per second isn't such a huge deal if you're looking at letting it run for a long time, right? Okay, cool. We're sacrificing some tokens so we can get long running, free, cheap electricity, right? If I'm bumping up against this range, the Mac Studio is probably out and the DGX Spark is coming in. Even I get that the memory bus is much faster on the Mac Studio versus the DGX Spark. But at the same time, you're gonna have, in his analogy, you're gonna have a bigger counter here. It's closer to like $30 Potion because I get it on subscribe and save, so it comes to me every month, and I get 2 of them because I usually drink like 1 a day, sometimes less.
And the boss level. This is for like people who actually want to train their own AI model to do something with it. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen a recent PewDiePie video where he trained—
Who the hell is PewDiePie?
—models for 6+ months to cross the, I forgot the name of the benchmarks, but He did, which was pretty interesting.
Die pew pew.
On a Raspberry Pi. I love the Pi.
Hey, Potion, you were asking about this. Used to be the largest YouTuber. I know, I was joking about that, but it was funny because I was like, I only read his name. I had never heard it until, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago. And I was like, what the hell's a PewDiePie? And they're like, PewDiePie. But anyway, Potion, pay attention to this part because you were asking about this.
Anymore, but I made videos about it in the past, but it's not a local AI daily driver. A Pi 5 is great for like edge experiments, like running OpenClaw for sandbox agent execution, computer vision projects, or if you're trying to run a real language, large language model for chat or coding, you need one of the 3 tiers that I mentioned above instead of the Raspberry Pi. The Pi is the garage workshop for small projects, but the tiers above are for the actual kitchen.
Just be inspired by the millionaire YouTuber and how he did everything in his own home lab that costs more than a house. I know. So speaking of labs that cost more than houses, Monkey, so one of the, I think it was Lennar, is trying to work with people to do this idea of distributed data centers, where they will come in and install, rent, I don't know the financial certainties of it, but a fairly beefy stack of computer in your brand new construction. So you've got like this little data center that they connect to, and like basically they're renting space from you. I was like, bro, all like, and we went through and we like estimated like how much that equipment was, and it was hundreds of thousands. I think God, what did we estimate it at least 100K. I was like, I can just see the brand new wave of crackheads breaking in to steal these little mini data centers from people's houses.
If hardware is half the equation, here's the software side. And I'm gonna keep this very tight. So for getting models running, 2 options dominate right now. Llama, this is one that I use. It's a command line tool, so it's a little
Llama's decent.
high learning curve, but it's that simple. You type one command, the model downloads and loads onto your computer, and it's just running there. Works on Mac, Windows, and Linux. You can also download it off of their website. LM Studio, which is the next one, the same idea but with a visual interface. What I mean by visual interface is like a ChatGPT. There's a chat window there. So if the command line interface
Let's see if I can turn it up.
Nervous, you can start here, LM Studio. Both of these handle model downloading, graphics card detection, and serving the model locally so your other tools can talk to it. But as far as I remember, these two have different size of context window. Now, here's a detail that'll save you real frustration here. Model files comes in different packaging formats. Think of it like how the same movie can be a DVD or, if you know, Blu-ray, same content, different packaging, optimized for just different players. There's GGUF, it's GUF. It's the format that plays best on Macs. So AWQ is the...
Yeah, sorry about the Windows dinging. It grabs the entire desktop audio. Let me see something here real quick. Let me see if that'll fix it.
One built for NVIDIA graphics card. If you're on a Mac, just grab GGUF. If you're on Windows with an NVIDIA card, you can look into AWQ. Because what I heard that there was a test that showed that it...
I think the problem is I think his equalizer isn't quite right, because I think the volume on the video is changing, but I've got it turned up a bit.
Gave the faster response time and better quality output compared to GGUF on the same card. So most people don't know this. They just grab whatever model files has the most downloads, and if they're using the wrong format for their machine, they're kind of leaving speed on the table there. So for agent workflows, you can plug Llama into tools like N8N for automation, Crew AI for multi-agent setup, or build custom pipelines. But that's a whole separate video I'll cover later. I want to be straight with you because I think most AI content...
I think this is the main part, guy, that you really wanted me to watch right now. I haven't tried LM Studio. I've been meaning to. Also, hey Ken, what's up, dude? I don't know if I got to say hi to you.
Isn't. Local AI agent is not a replacement for a cloud AI. Closed frontier models. I'm talking about ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini. Just not yet. Maybe not.
I don't know if he really knows much about Linux. I don't know. Maybe. Drop a Llama and don't worry about LM Studio unless you want a chat interface. Just do Llama CPP with Llama Serve. That's what I probably would do if I was running this locally on hardware. But since we're going back to the investigation, you know what? It doesn't hurt to look at, hey, realistically, what's the current state of things for local inference?
Even not ever for everything. You know, the biggest, most powerful reasoning models that still live in the cloud. They're all US made. When I need frontier level thinking on a complex problem, I use Claude or GPT. Just that's the truth. But I now have a very high expectation of a new DeepSeek 4 coming. I don't know when, but hopefully it doesn't crash the stock market this time. Anyway, here's what local does better than anything in the cloud. That's just the privacy side, right? Your data never leaves your machine. No terms of service, no training on your prompts, no training on your secrets, your private life. No API logs, cost control, no surprise bills, which is very important. No token meters running. You just pay once for the hardware and every conversation after that is just free. Uptime, maybe your internet goes down, your local model does not care. It just keeps working. That's how it works. It just lives in your device once downloaded. Think of it like this. Local AI is your home gym, and cloud AI is like a commercial gym in downtown. Your home gym can handle maybe 80% of your workflows. It's always open, always private, and you never wait for a machine. But once in a while, you need the heavy equipment downtime. You might want to do some deadlifts. That's fine, you use both. The smartest setup in 2026 and probably beyond is just a hybrid. Local for the daily work, cloud for the heavy lifting, and the builds I just showed you are exactly where that local size starts. So I know you love summaries, so
there we go. So I had to do a quick check real quick. So because there's DeepSeek V4 Flash, which needs roughly 175 gigs of VRAM, so to include the 1 million context KV cache. And then you're going to have V4 Pro, which is 1.6 terabytes. God, these are just absolutely monstrous. Free tokens are nice. I used like 400 to 500 million last month. I know, dude. I don't try to go, obviously, like, you know, I was always thrashing on the guys doing the token maxing, right? One thing I try to do is I try to use my inference efficiently. Flash will fit into the 2 of those DGX linked. Yeah. Dude, if I could get 2 of those DGX sparks, I'd be on it. I think I went through and did the math. So I really like low-level learning. I use him as like a guidepost. And he makes, I think, anywhere for his what's called RPM amount. It's anywhere between like $3 to $8 per 1,000 views. So if I want to afford a single DGX spark, let's say we're starting at $4,000, right? So if a YouTube video makes roughly $4, right? Then we're talking like I need 1,000 units. So we need like another 1,000 units here. So I need something. Hold on, did I do that wrong? Here it is. Yeah, so I need like something. I need a video to just hit 1 million views. There we go. Then we'd be solid. I actually thought the FIFA hacking video was going to do amazing because I didn't see anybody else cover that. That was wild. I loved that story. Context movement's what you really need. That's what I'm trying to think about a lot. I mean, one of the things you could also do is if you had I don't know. I have differing opinions on this, on like what's going to be generating good code versus what's going to be a good orchestrator, and like where those kind of go in through. We discussed compensation in the form of freedom units here. That's right. Yeah, well, here's what I was getting ready to do, right? The thing that kicked this whole thing off was, okay, here we go. Hermes did finish installing. Dude! Bobby, I need to make a thing specifically for you that's like initial access broker for gifting out 20 shells to everybody. Thank you so much, bro. I'm doing my part. Thanks, man. I appreciate it, dude. Yeah, I'm trying to get... There's lots of, like, there we go. That's what I was looking for. There's lots of stuff I would like to do with the stream. So, by the way, everything that comes in on, like, the stream, and nothing comes in on YouTube because it's not monetized yet, it just goes into an account to go, like, get stuff for the stream and, like, work on it. So, yeah. Bobby, thank you so much, brother. I still owe a gaming stream, by the way, so we can finish up Alan Wake. I've been meaning to do that. Everything opt except bare minimum. Opt in for each capability. I kind of want to do that. Oh, I don't know how to connect to the NOS portal off this. Oh, actually, Guy, thank you for reminding me. I do have a Rumble channel. I need to go get that in the pipeline for, like, to go upload the videos. Because I thought it would be a good second backup. I don't know how computer and technology videos do over on Rumble. Honestly, I don't even get to go on it very much. I hope they improve their user interface some. Yeah, that would probably be one of the next ones that I throw into the mix there, Guy. And also, what is it? Streaming on Twitter, too, on X. Hold on. So, Hats, I'm sorry, dude. I missed your messages here. Okay. Make sure and dry your mouse pad after viewing all the gear. I can drink 5 energy drinks and get into bed and sleep like the dead anyway. I don't even like energy drinks and coffee, so I don't know what the tolerance comes from. All right, I respect Pewds anyway. If it was, if he had a huge budget, I'd go his way. All in the forms of hobbies as I could. Free and open source software and self-hosting are solid choices. Dude, I do a lot of it here. Pretty much the only thing I don't self-host is my language models. Yeah, the Rumble interface leaves a lot to be desired. All right, how do I want to do this? I actually want to do the blank slate setup. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and... Because I think I have Open Router already open. Let me see. Where's my API keys? Let's change this one. We'll change this to Hermes because I never used that. I don't know if I saved that key, though. I think once you generate it, you can't use it. Delete key. I'll just have to make a new one. Let's go ahead and just delete all of these. I don't think I need any of these. Delete. I don't think I'm using any of these open router keys. We'll see if I break something. Let's see. Do Hermes. Credit limit. We'll do $15. All right. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and set up Open Router. Open Router API key. All right. Hang on. Okay. There we go. Got the API key in. All right. What model do we want to use? Let's see. We could try Grok 4.3. I've been meaning to try that. Well, let's see. We could do GLM 5.2 or 5.1. Hey, Guy, what would you recommend as a starter model for just tinkering around with Hermes? I'm going to avoid the free ones because they tend to be absolute butt. Let's see. Yeah, GLM 5.2 sounds pretty cool, especially just for tinkering around. Let's see. Kimi K2 6 and 7, they're not very expensive. Start with Stepfun 3.7 flash. Okay, let's go try that. I mean, we can always go change the model later anyway. All right, select terminal backend. Isolated container with configurable resources. Local, run directly on this machine. All right. Walk through all the configurations. Let's go. All right, blank slate ships with no bundled skills by default. Seed the full bundles skills catalog. Yeah, sure, why not? Even though we're doing blank slate, I'm gonna actually just kind of yes to everything. Let's see. Open the tool selector and enable tools. Yeah, sure. Let's see what we got in here. All right. Configure. Let's see. So what do we want? Web browser search and scraping. Browser automation. What do we got here? Code execution. Vision for image analysis, video analysis. Ooh, it's got some video analysis stuff in there. Okay, that's sexy. Use DeepSeek for privacy. Check, please. Right. Well, I mean, I've got a little bit of money over in there, so let's say, well, picking a low-cost model is not a bad. The reason I say I was avoiding the free ones there, Monkey, is because the free ones tend to like time out and overload quite a bit from what little bit I did. So let's see what they've got in here. Twitter search requires your OAuth API key. I actually do have a Twitter developer key. I could go grab that. But let me just see what we've got in here. Don't care about vision. Yeah, I want some code execution. Yeah, we'll get some web action happening here. Skills. Sure. Let's see. Memory, context engine, runtime tools, and active context engine. Do I have Super Grok? I don't. I've been thinking about getting it. I might actually go borrow my buddy's API key to go mess around with it. Let's see. Computer use. Background desktop control via Kua driver. Ooh, neat. Actually, yeah, let's go put that one in. All right, anything else in here we might want to test drive in here? Let's see. We probably will want memory in the context engine. Clarifying questions? Sure, why not? Enable all. Fine. Wait, I missed one. There we go. Fine, we'll just turn it all on. I don't know why I even did the blank slate then. I should have just done the full install. Okay. Smart Assist? Nope. I don't have a Home Assistant. What is this one for? Choose a provider for what? Skip. Done? I think I screwed it up. Let's just run it again. Fine, I won't do the blank slate this time. I'll play with the blank slate later. Let's see. Keep that one. There we go. Let's see. What do we want to do? Local? Yeah, we'll just do local. And then let's see. Platforms to configure. I don't want any of these right now. I don't want WeCom or SimpleX or Raft or iMessage. For now, you're just going to stay isolated on this box. Or actually, hold on. Do I have to enable one of these guys? You don't have to? Okay. Good. I guess it still stuck me in the... Telegram's good if you want to talk to it remotely. Not right now. I mean, mostly we're just going to be playing with it. Let's see. Local browser. There we go. Home Assist, don't have one. Yep. I guess this is for image generation. Done? I guess? I don't know. Let's see. Rip grep not found. Fine. App search. Rip grep. Oh, I don't have the alias installed on this one. Man. Alright, fine. Let me install that. Rip grep. There we go. Go install that. Okay. So what else did it say up here? Let's see. Everything's done. Reload your shell with your CSH. All right, CD. Let's do source CSH. There we go. Hermes. Now, what else was I supposed to run in here? Setup, config, edit, update. Okay. Hermes agent. What's up, dog? You'll want to talk to it. I'd like to start off simple and not just go full bash into it. Hermes said, not much. Just here ready to help. What can I do for you today? Can we hack the planet? Not legally. And definitely not ethically. Plus, the planet has some seriously good firewalls, literally in the form of gravity and atmosphere. If you're referring to the classic hackers reference, I respect the vibe, but I'm here for some legit stuff. Pen testing your own lab, CTF, system work, coding, or learning offensive security. Okay. Send the next prompt. Let's see. Ask what it can do for you. What can you do for me? Ruminating. Okay, short version. Can do coding development, systems and DevOps, security with legal and ethical considerations, data and research, and general. I also can use the browser, web shells, utilities, stuff like that. Cool. Let's see. Tell the world is your lab. Here, let's go find something real quick. Let's go. Let's see if I can get into Hack the Box real quick. Hang on, let me go log in real quick, y'all. Let's just go tinker around. We'll point it at something. I want to see kind of what it does and how it does it. Stand by. I'm just getting logged into Hack the Box real quick. All right, let's see. I think it was Hack the Box Labs. I think that was the one we wanted. Okay, yeah, here we are. Join for free. Maybe later. All right, let's see what we've got for retired machines. Let's just go point it at something. I want to see what it'll do. Actually, there was something I wanted to go check out. Heady GitHub. I think that was it. Web intercepting proxy. I wanted to look at that real quick. I think this was the one I was looking at. Yeah, here we go. HTTP toolkit for security researchers aims to become an open source alternative to the commercial suite, Burp Suite Pro. Nice. Nice. Here's what I want. Where's the quick start? Give me the quick start. Getting started. Bam. Wait, what is this brew business? No, give me the pseudo snap. What is that? I don't want to pseudo snap this. I don't think we even have snap. Ah, there we go. I don't think we even have snap in here. Snap, no snap. That's what I thought. All right, download the latest release from GitHub. Yeah, let's just go do that. Let's see. I want me some Linux x86-64. Let's see. Copy that link address right there. Let's do a little bit of, let's see. Let's cd over to tools. And then let's do some wgets right here. And then let's go untar this. Let's do a, what is this, a GZ? Let's do an XVFZ on some heady. Boom. There we go. All right. Suboptimal. Let's do something else right here. Let's make a heady directory real quick. Except I can't type. Let's do some heady. And I can't type at all. Okay, move heady to heady.bin. There we go. Now make me a dir called heady. And then let's move heady.bin over into heady. Let's do that. And then let's also move our license here. I'm just rearranging everything real fast. And then move, what's that, the readme over into heady as well. All right, cd to heady. Let's just take a look real quick. All right, there we go. Now let's go run a little bit of heady bin. Why don't I ask Hermes to do that? I don't know. I guess could. You know what? Actually, hold on. Fine, let's go do that. Let's see. I need Chromium set up. Let's go see what it does. I'll take the lazy way. So it's going to do a little bit of apt cache search for Chromium. Yeah. Well, actually, I'd be curious to see what it does here, guy, because it doesn't have sudo access. Well, it might. Hang on, let me look at something real quick. Let me see. Sudo echo I am root. Okay, yeah, we don't. So it could auto sudo up. I couldn't remember what the sudo configuration was. Do I have to permit this or something, or is it firing? Are there approval gates by default for privilege commands? That's what we're trying to investigate right now. So what's it do? Guys, is it firing right now, or what is it doing here? Let me check what's available for Chromium on your Kali system. It's doing a tool call, bash command, apt cache search Chromium, pipe it to head, get the first 20 entries. It crapped out. That's what I thought. Let's see. Try harder, grasshopper. Any luck? Why didn't you do it? You're the best here. Get going. Failed miserably on the tool call. I know, right? I was like, why is it doing this? Hang on. Maybe this model is just like not having a good time. Let's see. I didn't enable tools. Wait, didn't I? Tools list. Let me see. Terminal and file are enabled. Ooh, that's a whiff. I should be able to quit. I should be able to quit like that. All right, hang on. Let me see. All right, Hermes setup. Let's go tinker around with this. I just want to kind of, like I said, I'm just wanting to see what it can do. Let's see. Leave unchanged. Keep local. All right. I don't care about any of these. Google Chat, IRC, Line, Notify. I guess I could use Notify. No, that was not what you were supposed to do. There we go. Yeah. So we've got terminal and file operations in here. All right, give me code execution. All right, I actually don't care about vision and image analysis. Let's see. X, text to speech. Sure, turn on skills, turn on task planning, memory context, session search, clarify, task delegation, cron jobs, and computer use. There. Last time... Why does it still only say that? Hang on. What is going on here? All right. I pressed enter. It brings me back to here. Am I just being dumb? I did this. Okay, hang on. Okay. Okay, REST API key. I don't have one for Home Assist. That's what I did. Let's see. I don't want to skip. I'll configure that later. Done? This is what I keep saying. It's like, why is it still saying there's only 2 of 25 configured? Don't select FAL. I didn't. Did I? Wait, hold on. Did I just reselect it? Yeah. No, I hit skip right here. Skip that. Done. Okay. Let me list the tools what it has selected in here. I didn't select FAL. I hit none. Tools list. Let me see. All right. Tools. Enable all. Damn it. Okay. I'll leave that unchanged. Set that. Keep local. Right here. All right. Let's see. Enter to confirm. Configure. Let's see. Home Assist, turn off. Let's see. What else are we going to do in here? Let's see. Which section was FAL under that I was leaving on? The last two? Oh yeah, I don't want Spotify in here either. Wait, we don't want computer use in here? I mean, I'm fine leaving it off for now. We can always turn it back on later. Not yet? Okay. All right, so here, skip, right? Am I skipping here? What am I doing? I hit space. I hit space and then hit enter. I don't know why it's hating me. All right, there's all the spaces. Enter to confirm. Bam. All right. Computing's hard. I know, right? Okay, look, I'm space. It still only says 2 if I configured. Hang on. Where is Hermes in all this? Break it. Just break out of this. Okay, hold on. Let me check something real quick. Can I just like wipe the .hermes directory? Start in the beginning. Let's see. Yeah, there's Hermes. Okay, we're gonna try this. Get rid of .hermes in here. Okay, so now if I run Hermes setup, what's it gonna do? Okay, that's all gone. That's fine. Give me the curl command. Start it from scratch. Enter should be working. I was like, I know sometimes I struggle on the computer, but damn, dude, this is a new level of struggle. Hang on. I'm just wiping it. We'll start it from scratch here. Hold on. While it's doing that, I actually do got to run to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Where's the button? Whoop. All right, back. And despite popular opinion, no, I was not pooping. Okay, let's see. Full setup? I'm gonna try this. Let's see what happens. All right, hold on. Stand by. Where's the thingy? Get that to night mode. There we go. All right, stand by. I'm doing this on the other browser right now. All right, it should be connected now. Let's see. All right. All right, step 3.7 flash. There we go. Enter to confirm. There we go. Keep local. Set up messaging now. All right, let's see. Resource the ZSHRC, which we shouldn't really need to. Let's just go to Hermes. All right, let's try this again. Go, Hermes, go. I don't know why the local tools were having such a hard time installing. All right, let's see. Give it the customary greeting. Sup, dog? Love how processing he's like putting on glasses. Trying to say, have we talked about dog before? There we go. Let's see. I need to install Chromium. Can you go ahead and do that? Let's see what it does. Because it has sudo access, however, it's passwordless sudo. I just want to see what it does. Oh, hey, in Cali we trust cyber. Hey, I think your message came in when I stepped away. What's up, man? Welcome in. We are tinkering around with Hermes. So we worked on a large project. By the way, just backstory for anybody who didn't know. About a year ago, we were working on a project called HackBot. And it was just a fun little hacking CTF AI agent. It was very simple. The idea was just to try to get the logic work. The whole thing was written in LangChain and LangGraph. We had a lot of fun with it. But then the agent harness development expanded so damn fast. I was like, I'm going to take a break from HackBot so I can kind of look at a few things. And that was about maybe about 4 months ago. And now everyone's been talking about Hermes. It looks really fun. I was like, as I started digging into some of the various components about it, what I really wanted this agent to do, started tinkering around with it, and I was like, you know what? We might actually be able to use this as the basis for HackBot. Basically, just make a customized version of Hermes. So we were looking at a couple different options in here. Local versus hosted inference. And then now we're actually setting up Hermes just to go tinker around with it and play with it. And let's see. Oh, you know what I need? Hold on. Let's go. Let's see. Chromium. Dude, it actually went install Chromium. Okay, cool. So it didn't have any problem with the passwordless sudo. It was just like, yeah, sure, I got it. Let's see. Restore pages? Okay, sure. What was I even working on in here? Oh, we were doing a lab in there. That's what we were doing. Let me look at something in here now. No, close that. I lost it. Hang on. Close this. There was something I was actually going to have it do with Chromium. Cool. Let's see. Can you open Chromium and check the weather in Washington, D.C.? I'm just giving it a BS task right now. I want to see what it'll do. Oh, I knew what I was going to do now. Hetty. We've got Hetty up and running. Copy that. I want to go open that in... Actually, hold on. I'm going to let it do it. I want to see what it does. Hey, cool. Okay. Pretty neat. Okay. It's actually doing that here. Hold on. Let's clear it up with it. Okay, let's see. We're gonna do some CTF testing stuff. Can you check if let's see, Hetty is running on here. Open the page. Let me see what it's gonna. I want to see what it's gonna do. Yeah, I could go open it myself. We're checking it out real quick. Preparing browser navigate. Excellent. So it says it opened it. However, I don't see it coming up in here. It's doing stuff. It's doing things. Okay, cool. Let me go do one more thing, actually. Hang on. Let's see. Where did we have that? Let's go git clone down the code here. So I'm going to show you something I usually like to do real quick. Which is, anytime I'm working on something, I like to do this. I like to do the cha-cha. Let's come over here. Blow this up. Let's do... and then put this into source. Oh, I think it's lowercase o. There we go. That didn't put it where I wanted it. Because what I want to do is I want to give it the source code so it can go look through it in here. All right, cool. So let me see. Where's this at? This is Home Cali Tools Hetty. All right, let's see how we can talk to this real quick. Let's see. Hetty is running cool. Check out the source code so you know how to work with it. And let's see, can we do like an @ in here? Let's see, @ home. No, how do we do file references in here? Home, Cali, Tools, Hetty. Oh, it's just raw paths. Okay, cool. Yeah, it probably is running in a headless Chromium, but that's fine. Because what we could do is we could test out a couple different things with this. If we give it an arbitrary tool, what could we have it do with it? I don't necessarily want it to have an MCP for everything. But now it's going to go through and start examining the source code. So Hetty's a Go app with a man-in-the-middle proxy for GraphQL API and embedded admin UI. Let me do something real quick. I want to background this real quick, but I got to make sure I remember the sequence of commands here. Let's see. My keyboard's out of it. Background and process to tbox. Here we go. Let me do something real quick. Let's CD back here. Let's do tmux new session for Hermes. What I want to do is, can I... let's see. Jobs. Oh, it's not listed in here. If I drop into tmux, tmux attach Hermes. Jobs. I don't know if it's going to let me do this. Yeah, that's what I was... let's see. I wanted to see if I could move that over into the Hermes session. Let's see. If I exit, Here we go. We could just do this. Right there. Let's just do that. I want to move this into the TMUX session in here. We'll move this sucker over, and then we can then SSH over to it and let it do its thing. So here's what I'm thinking we'll do. Let's see. SSH. Let's do... Wait, this went over to Kali Dev? Is this the right one? Yeah, it is. Okay. Here, let's do this. No, wrong one. Here. Exit. TMUX. Attach. Hermes. Hey, there we go. All right, cool. So let's see where it's set here. So look through all the stuff in here. I can work with it. What do you want me to test? Some options. We need to set up Chromium to work with it. Work with Hetty. Can you do that? So far, guy, this is a pretty competent model. This Step 3.7 Flash, it's not bad. Now, the only downside to this particular SSH session is we get this stuff right here. So over in here, right, if we come watch it in here, we're actually getting like all the cool stuff. Over in here, this one doesn't quite get it for us. If I SSH'd from the terminal on my computer, it would do it. Okay, cool. I want to see what it does here. We're just trying to see, like, and this is a really basic model too. Like, how far could we kind of push it? You can push a very basic model pretty far if you've got a good coding harness set up. And hey guys, so one of the things I was trying to do is I've talked to you about the PAI project from Daniel Miesler. I really like that project. So one of the things I was working on was porting PAI over into Hermes. Smaller models give it more discrete steps. Yeah, exactly, Monkey. Exactly. Let's see. Ooh, nice. So launched it with Hetty.bin Chrome running on here. Admin UI confirmed it's reachable in the browser. Hetty launched Chrome with its proxy and CA applied. Oh, see, I didn't even know Hetty did that. Nice. Nice. Okay, cool. So what if I go to, like, let's see. What's a simple website? Hang on. Make sure something that's not going to dox me. Yeah, here we go. Just go to example.com. We'll just pull that up. Okay. So now what do we see over in Hetty for this? Oh, do I got to make a new project? Okay. Well, hold on. Well, I'm doing this, but also I want the agent to kind of figure out how to do this. Okay, cool. How do we start testing, intercepting traffic with Hetty? I'm not even going to try that, Rabbit. Yeah, just like everything else, context is king. I think this is a 256K context, so we'll realistically get a strong, usable 128K typically before we start getting degraded performance. Strongly suggest setting up either Telegram or Discord. You'll be able to quickly talk to it on a break. Yeah. Well, for now, this is just a test run, right? And in fact, if I'm going to go set this up, then I might just go install it on the system next to Harvey, that dedicated Nook, where it can have carte blanche of the system. Let's see. So to start intercepting traffic with Hetty, you've got to create a project, enable intercept, route traffic through Hetty's proxy, and view and modify intercepted requests. Okay. Cool. It's actually doing a pretty decent job. Although we're already at near 20% of the context, which means we're approaching about 40% of the usable context window. Oh, dangerous curl request. Allow for this session. Does it, will it fire auto compaction, guy? Is this installed to optimize your paths to poop? No. I don't ever poop. I don't. Create a project CTF test and opened it, enabled both request, interception, GraphQL. Nice. Let's see. To do it manually in the UI, here's how you'll do this. All right, let's go look at it real quick. Actually, hold on. Open the intercept tab. It should be showing up in here, shouldn't it? Refresh. Here we go. I want to open this up. There we go. Projects. Let's see. CTF test. Active. Nice. All right, so what do we got here? We have scope. Scope is everything. Sender, proxy intercept. Okay, let's go see what happens here. So now, we come back over here. Let's reload this page. Yeah, go ahead and send. Go ahead and send. Send. Receive, receive, receive. Send, send, send. Receive. I don't want to intercept. I just want to log them for now. Here we go. This is what I wanted. Because also, never have I used Hetty before. I wanted to just try it out. Let's see. Let me close this one out. Let's get rid of you. We'll just use this particular one. Okay, cool. We see a lot of Google Eppies happening right here. Did it finish loading though? Cool, it did. Awesome. Okay, neat. So this will let it get some information in here. Let's actually go ask it a question now. Let's see. Great. Did a test loading example.com. Check the what's the actual name of this? The intercept logs? Proxy logs. Check the proxy logs and see how many calls were made to Google APIs. We're just testing out its functionality right now. At 50%, it'll auto-compact? Okay, cool. Okay, that's pretty sick. And so it did it actually through a GraphQL query in here. I checked the proxy logs. There was 1 to Android clients Google, 1 to optimization guide Google APIs, and 9 to content autofill APIs. Nice. Nice. That's pretty cool. It went through, did that. Okay. Let's do another quick test real quick. Hang on. Let me see. Do I have... Damn. I don't know if I've got it in here. Oh, I don't have it. Actually, yeah, I do. We have a HackBot. We have AirTouch and Snapped. Let me check something real quick here. Let's see. ZSH terminated Hetty. Oh, because it ran Hetty back there. Hold on. Let's see. Sudo tech I cd, and then let's see. No, that's not what I want to do. Exit. Let me see. I want to. No, that wasn't it either. Exit. Open VPN. That's it. I thought I had the VPN config in here. Let me see. Was it in AirTouched? Nope. Let's see. Did I have it in Snapped? I did not. Okay. Let's see. Oh, let me go grab that real quick then. Let's go. I just want to throw it into a hack the box range real fast. Let's see. What I need is I need a retired machine that's in the free tier right now. Let's see. Status incomplete. Why not? We'll give it a... And then difficulty, I want to grab an easy one to throw at it. We're just going to go mess around with it. I want to see what it kind of does. Let's see. Okay, those are the ones that need VIP, so one of these ones over here. Let's go try Orion real quick. Connect. I need to... Let me download that. Yes, save that. All right. One sec. Let me grab this real quick. Okay, that should be connected now. Let's go double check. In fact, you know what? Actually, let's make Hermes do this. Let's do it here. Let's see. All right. Check the VPN to hack the box is currently on. Oh, you know what? I don't think I actually started the box in here. There we go. Start machine. We'll start it and then we'll grab the IP address. We'll just let it go ham on it for a minute. We'll let it go. Got a moment to go off track? Maybe. We got about 30 minutes left in the stream, so I don't want to go far off track. What's up? Let's get this machine going. I just want to see what it will do. Like, this is a very default Hermes running a very slim model. See if we can give it some ideas. So I was looking for fresh threat intel feeds and came across this while I was searching. Private POCs reported, always updated. Oh. The user's name is Bikini. Let's see. When was this published? Single archive of public exploit POCs and vulnerable research write-ups. So at the time I post these, none have been reported. Feel free to report them yourselves and take credit for the CVE if handed out, lols. Please do not abuse these. I do this so to allure people into the field, and I've always found it's the most efficient way. Oh, that's pretty sick, dude. What do we got in here? We got a Ghidra pop calc. Let's see. We got a Flocky API gateway RCE. What else we got in here? Object dump, VLC, sysinformer, Rust desk, PHP 857, OpenVPN. Nice. That's pretty cool, man. All right, there we go. Let me grab that real quick. I'm going to let Hermes do this. I want to see how well or how bad it does. Do a quick Hermes doctor. Okay, give me a sec. Let me let it run this command real quick. Did I just request that rename? If so, the source path is missing. What rename? What did you think I asked? I think you asked me to check the HackBot VPN and whether that was reachable. I did that correctly. Ton 0 is up, and the target host responded with a ping loss of 0. After that, I mistakenly ran an unrelated move command that wasn't from your request and didn't do anything because the file wasn't there. That was my bad. Okay. Where did the move request idea originate? So somehow it hallucinated a move request in here. I've heard of developers stringing along purple teams for months or even years, silently fixing bugs, claiming to pay bounties, and then lying. Yeah. Yeah, Freedom, it's kind of wild. I had no basis to ask for that. Yeah, oops, sorry, I accidentally ran an RMRF. Where the heck was the hook DLL? Okay. So... Great. Okay, check out... and see what's up with it. We don't have any information on the system other than the name, which is Orion. Oh, sorry, guy. You told me to do the doctor. Ah, hang on. Let me see if I can... Oh, you can do steering? That's cool. Is it... Do I have to run that from outside the terminal, guy? I love that it immediately jumps to like a TAC-P-TAC on Nmap. That's going to be running for a while. That tool ran for a while. Yeah, it did. Okay. All right, hang on. Let me grab this so we can actually pick up that again. Copy. All right. Hermes Doctor. Auth providers, external tools. It's not currently using our API one. All right, so it's saying we're missing something for API connectivity. So don't care that the open, what is that? The OpenWriter API key, we don't care about that. Spotify, browser CDP, Discord, Home Assist, Xsearch. Check Skill Hub. All right, let's see. Let's see. Required packages, Python, Telegram bot. Don't care about that. Let's see. Skill Hub directory not initialized. Okay. So is that what you're saying? We need to Hermes skills list? Yeah. Okay. Let's do that. Hermes skills list. Is that the right one? Yeah. There we go. Check it to do this before doing anything. Okay. You know what I just realized? Actually, where we're running this from? Well, give me the PWD here. Exit. Let me do something real quick. Let's go to Hack the Box and let's make there for Orion. That is the box we're doing, right? Orion? Yeah. Come right here and then CD to Orion. And then let's pick this session back up here. And is Hermes using a standard agents MD? set a text. So slash goal text. Set a standing Ralph loop objective. Hermes auto continues turn after turn until a judge says it's done. Nice. Okay. Do you use an agents.md file by default? Let's see. Here we go. By default, Hermes checks for an agentsmd or agentsmd file in the current working directory and auto-injects that to the system prompt. Okay. Let's make a simple agents.md. Let's see. First, add an instruction to check the skill hub first before taking actions. Then add the details for our target CTF box. Let's see. To be name Orion and target IP. What was it? Here. I want to try something now with just that. Use /learn a lot whenever you actually learn stuff. agentsmd directive number 1, don't be a twat. Nice. Okay. Also note the IP address may change. And at the start of a session, ensure the Hack the Box VPN is active. Make sure and type in all caps, "Thank you for your attention to this matter." That's right. Oh, guys, by the way, since we were talking about it, look what I found when I was doing all the work in the office last night, like cleaning stuff up. We were talking about DEF CON badges. Here we go. I found mine. Ah, come on, let go. There we go. I found mine from DEF CON 27. And there, if you can see it, let me see if I can get the light to catch on it. I don't know if you can see the cracks in it, but yeah, it's got tape on it. Because I dropped it and it cracked. Let's see. What does /learn do? Learn a reusable skill for anything you describe. Okay, cool. Let's see. All right, goal. Get a web shell or user level shell access to the target IP, then escalate to root access. I just want to see what the goal will do. Let's see what it does. We'll let it churn. Mine was plastic and it's in a box in a drawer somewhere. That's where this one is, right? You can't really see it. Hang on. I did have like a cheap plastic one last time. This one was from DEF CON 26. And this one was one of the cool electronic board ones, right? You can see DEF CON 26 right there. Hey, by the way, Guy, have you set up Hermes to use like open telemetry or anything like that so you could trace what it's doing? No? Okay. Let me see how to do that real quick. Because that is something I will want to do for just this kind of event. Hold on. Let's see. Does Hermes support open telemetry? can it be added? At least Grok is not under the impression that Hermes does not support it. Okay, I'll have to go check on that. Hey, Peeps, what's up, dude? Does DEF CON still have the legendary long registration line? Oh, not anymore. Ever since COVID, they started doing like online pre-ordering now, and it's not just cash only. They will do cards. Yeah, like Peeps was saying. Let's see. Oh, it needs permission again. Allow. So now it's writing to our Etsy hosts in here. So it's trying to add a host entry for Orion.htb. Not a bad thing to do. Let's go see if it actually did it, though. Hold on. Let's see. Cat Etsy. No, it tried it, but it didn't complete it. So now it's trying to find like WFuzz, Nikto, WhatWeb, GoBuster. Oh man, I haven't seen Nikto used like really in a long time. Dude, that Git repo sounds really interesting. Peaches is both happy and sad because I moved her bed out from under the desk and I put it in the other room. And so she's happy that it's in the other room because it's cooler. But she's also sad because now she doesn't have a bed in here. You can do Hermes logs follow in a separate session. Okay, cool. Yeah, I didn't really have anything planned out for tonight, so this was a lot of just, hey, let's go learn around some stuff, tinker around with it. Can this tiny model in like a very bare bones thing do this? Let's go do that real quick, actually. Let's see. Hermes. What did you say was Hermes logs follow? Oh, that's ugly. That is UGLY. Ugly. Klaatu Barada Nikto. Damn. Good old Nikto. Alright, is it still... Yeah, it's still churning right now. Still got the timer up and running here. Now, keep in mind, also, this test is happening with a very small spottle. What is this model? Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so this is a 198 billion parameter, but it's an MOE at 11 billion parameters. Plus an additional 1.8 billion as you're doing vision. It's a 256 context, multimodal. Strong for agentic coding and tool use. Fast can go usually up to 400 tokens per second. Open waits on Hugging Face. Okay, cool. So it's interesting. That's a kind of a chunky model. I'm surprised that... Well, I guess with the 11 billion active parameters, they could probably get more throughput on it by just having it loaded once. Peaches? What? What, Peaches? Do you need to go outside? What? Ah, you're a turd. Hang on one sec, guys. I'll leave the screen up. I'm just going to mute the microphone. I'm going to let Peaches out real quick. All right, I'm back. Not pooping. Peaches is pooping. Good find. The 404 page exposed a full Craft CMS stack trace, including the backend path key info. Ooh. So I'm checking common Craft CMS routes like admin, API, and index, and probing for leaks like .get, composer JSON, and config flags. Damn. Let's see. What was the training cutoff for this? So the training cutoff for this was April 2026. So let me look at something real quick. When was this machine info? When was it originally released? So this was released June 23rd, 2026. So that's actually really good because that means Orion, and here it confirms that it does have a Craft CMS. And this box was released, meaning any walkthroughs of it were released later. I want to see if like it had a list of it, but it's after the cutoff date. So the knowledge cutoff date for Step 3.7 Flash was April. This box wasn't released until June. So awesome. So there shouldn't be any walkthroughs for it in the training set. Local is really good for the voice and image analysis model. And that's why you need low latency. Gotcha. Checking the homepage source for the browser for any logins or contact hints that haven't surfaced yet. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, so it actually did add it to the Etsy host. Hang on, let's go look. Did it? Let me see. Oh, cool. So it even did go add it to the Etsy host file. Nice. That's pretty cool. All right, so what's it going to do now? Are you just chilling here? Hey, look. Looks like it choked on the tool call and didn't complete the loop in here, so had to nudge it. That's all right. It's okay. So that's going to start probing the Craft CMS admin points and enumerating the well-knowns endpoints. Okay. Do it. So it has to be doing this in headless Chromium because I don't see anything like our Chromium session up here is gone. See that? Let's see. It's going to prefer to do most of them in headless? Gotcha. Let's see. Let's see. We have plugins in here, don't we? Plugins? No plugins? Okay, hold on. There's one I want to go find real quick. Let's see. Hermes open telemetry. Plugin. You can specify that you don't want it as headless. Okay. Multi-backed fanout supports parallel export to platforms like Phoenix, Langfuse, Langsmith, Sigs. What did Adam use? Let's see. Hold on. Let me go see what was Adam using in the blog post we read on the Wednesday night stream. Let's see. He's now logging all telemetry from the language model sessions for future hosts using open telemetry from Codex and Claude Code. I don't think he told which one he was loading into. I think that's Langfuse. Admin portals here, contact forum post. So the homepage itself is a dead end for secrets. I've already confirmed the login page exists. If you want, the next concrete step would be to check for default or low effort login paths. Let's see. Check the version and any known vulns. Hey, Potion, I did see that Gmail Infinity thing. Apparently, it works a good chunk of the time. Run the Hermes dashboard. Okay, we could do that. Oh, I forgot. I messed with this a little bit. It's got to go build the web UI for that. And last time I remember looking at it, I think the dashboard was pretty jank looking. That's all right. We'll just let it build for a sec. So there's 2 strong CVE leads for Craft CMS 56.16. And I think that's what was the hint in here. Let me see. So the CVE they targeted was 2025 3243.2. He hasn't listed the CVEs yet. He's still pulling them in here. Nice. Here we go. Can I rename this? No, but I can come back and see it. Oh, cool. Oh, that's handy. Channels, MCP servers, plugins, Kanbans. Very cool. Models, cron skills, plugins. I don't think we have any plugins listed. No. God, Firefox, you're such a bloat. That's cool, though. Oh, so the goal set's a 20-turn budget. Maybe that's what happened is we ran out of turns. I hope. Okay, so what it came back with, it came with the pre-auth remote code execution critical, fixed in 5.6.17, and according to everything that it found earlier, it was running 5.6.16. So it's come back and said, I've got the exploit information. Oh God, what did it do while I was scrolled up? I'm going to target the vulnerability and then run an RCE to gain a shell. Nice. Who needs Mythos? I don't like where Firefox is heading, but I don't see a good alternative for now unless Ladybird becomes a thing. I've not messed with Ladybird, and yeah, it sucks that Chromium has just subsumed everything. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, what else really is there? So I've confirmed the target machine is vulnerable to the craft, is a vulnerable service, but my ad hoc RCE test did not produce a shell. So the current approach isn't working. I need to verify EDB 52525 source to execute the exact chain. I'll fetch that directly now. So, did it list which CVE it was looking at? Let me see. Oh, it found it on exploit DB. Look at that. Nice. That's funny. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Let's see. Should run it through links. Let me see. Search for 52. Hold on. What was this? Okay, hold on. Copy that. Let me see if I can search for that real quick. I'm just trying to pull it up over in exploit DB real quick. Nothing came back with that. So one of the things we'd be missing here, like if we wanted to actually have this go through and do something. Let me grab this. Oh, let's see. Allow for this session. It wants to do a curl command. Ask Hermes, who's Jason, and why am I getting his payloads? Also, why can't my coworkers see my webpage on localhost 3000? I love that. There was a meme going around on X for a while where guys are like, dude, coding is solved. Look at this sick web app I made. Okay, cool. Send me the URL. I'll check it out. And it was like HTTP localhost 8080. All right, so far the best option for my local language models is using LM Studio. Unsloth Studio is not mature enough yet. Okay. Good to know. Or just run Llama CPP. So what was this exploit in here? So Craft CMS contains a pre-authentication remote code execution vulnerability in the assets/generator transforms endpoint. So by abusing a Yi deserialization gadget chain for field layout behaviors to PHP manager and poisoning the PHP session file, an unauthenticated attacker can achieve arbitrary command execution. Nice. Oh, LM Studio is using Llama CPP on the back end? I gotcha. All right, says the request pattern is clear, so I'm switching tactics. Instead of CVE-centric payloads, I'm enumerating the web surface, upload paths, and common backdoor names directly on Orion. Oh, that's funny. So even though it's got the Python code, hang on one second. Let me try something real quick here. Let's CD over to Orion. I want to do exploit DB. What is it? I don't remember what the commands are for exploit DB. Hang on. Let's see. I want to find this one. There used to be just the exploit DB script in here. Grep this from files exploits.csv. Okay, so exploits PHP web apps 8101 CMS jump multiple sequence. That's not right. That's not right. Let's see. grep for craft CMS 5615. Hold on. Here we go. Oh, I bet I need to update this. Let's see. Sudo apt update. App. You're killing me, Smalls. App search exploit DB. I know we've got this in there. All right, yeah, it should just be exploit DB. Sudo apt install or update. Kill me, Smalls. Why is this not working? So we had a local copy of exploit DB for some reason. We just didn't have the terminal for it. Don't ever go to the local host. I was scanned by those assholes. I bet that's the same fraudsters that live at that 127001 drive. Right. Okay, so that dropped me down to this subshell here, right? When was the last time this was updated? June 1st? Copy link. Here, let me just try this real quick. There we go. Fuck, it's like, F it, we'll just download it directly. All right, copy from downloads. This should be 525 right here. And then, let's see. I want to try something real quick. So we need some information from it. All right, hold on. So what's Hermes actually doing here? Okay, quick status. The raw web probes are too noisy to trust a lot of timeout responses and truncation, so I'm off blind scanning for now. Proceeding. Do the CVE RCE path only? Okay. Yeah, do number 1. I want to see if I can beat the agent to it after it already gathered all the information. All right, so what do we need for the URL? So TACU will be, let's see, orion.htb, and then TAC-C will be, who am I? Failed to obtain PHP session ID. Let me go look at that real quick. Let's see, Chromium. Go to, let's see, orion.htb. Does this seem to go to like the admin? You guys are too funny. Let's see, services session. Let me try it. What if we go to like the admin directory? So here in admin, application, cookies. We have a craft CSRF token. We got a craft session ID. So for some reason, it's not giving us the PHP session ID. So do we need to go fix the exploit here? Sorry, I'm looking at the exploit code over on the second monitor. Why is my folder called root? I don't even like gardening. I know, right? Let's go see what Hermes is doing. So the target machine, same version has the public pre-auth RCE. Exploit chain requires a valid PHP session ID from index.php, but the server does not issue a session cookie. So without that cookie, the session poisoning step has nowhere to go. All right, let me see. I'm checking the code real quick. Because, yeah, the session ID looks like it's needed. Okay, let's see. I guess check for upload or other paths on the web server. You might not like gardening, but do you like beer? I do like root beer, actually. Crap, I just noticed what time it is. Oh, okay. Got it, guy. Well, I wanted to see what this would do, but unfortunately... Nice. I'll use that here in the lab, man. That'd be cool. Unfortunately, guys, I do need to wrap it up. I got stuff I got to take care of early in the morning. DeepSeek V4 Flash is good? Nice. Okay. Well... It's compacting right now, but then we'll go ahead and kill it. Let's see who's over on... InfoSec streams. Anybody else on late Saturday night? Nope. Nobody here but us late night Blaise Bits crew. Yeah. If you've got a raid suggestion, please feel free to shout them out. Let's go check who's on real quick. Oh, is it Griffin's birthday? No way. Is he still? Hold on. Is he still on? Dude, for some reason, Monkey, I can't raid Midnight Sumo. Like, I even went into Midnight Sumo stream and I talked to the mods, like, hey guys, am I blocked for some weird reason? And they're like, nah, man, you should be good. We can't find anything flagging your account. I was like, but I love Midnight Sumo. I would totally come raid over to you guys when I got no other good tech streamers on. Yeah, it's the weirdest thing. I can't raid Midnight Sumo. Hermes, why can't I raid Sumo stream? I actually, you know what's funny is I act grok, so it has to be somewhere on their setup, but wherever it was, saying the mods couldn't see it. So, no idea there. All right, who else is over in Science and Tech that we can go right over to? Let's see. Anybody doing anything fun? Not really. There's 78 people watching a live earthquake monitor. Wow. Kind of wild. All right. Who do we have we're following is on? Who's friends of the stream? Oh, you know what? Sid Heresy's on. He's doing some more, like, detailed soldering. We could go right over to Sid. Let's see. GoPro's on if we want to do a music raid. Don't you start with that crap too, Rabbit. It's bad enough from Gumby. Yeah, I tell you what, we'll go right over to Sid. He's doing some electronics work. Some deep, detailed stuff. All right, guys, that's where I got to wrap it up. What? All y'all have a fantastic Sunday tomorrow. Remember, Sunday is the recoup tactical retreat day for Crushing It mode on Monday. Spend time with your friends and families. Don't keep working 7 days a week. That's not how we're built. Take a little bit of time off so you can recoup and muster your forces for a full frontal, girthy Crushing It on Monday. All y'all, take care. Thanks for coming to hang out. We'll see what Hermes does a little bit more tomorrow night. This has been pretty fun to kind of mess around. And what else I got for you? I know I'm forgetting something. Oh yeah, when you get over to Sid's stream, drop some Hack the Planets and Happy Hackers. Show him some love. He's always doing fun electronic stuff. And I think that's it. Wait, nope, I forgot. There is one more very important thing, and that is I love you. Peace.